Hi, I'm Marianne Walker and I'm showing you some Thibra today. Thibra Fine to be specific. This is a heatable thermoplastic that it starts out as just a little sheet of plastic, but when you heat it up, it basically turns into a plastic clay that can be shaped or molded. You can do all sorts of great stuff with it. So today I'm going to use this really nice backgrounder stamp from Hero Arts. And we're going to make a little centerpiece or a decorative element for gifting as a flower or some kind of centerpiece at your Valentine's dinner. Who knows what? But we're gonna have a lot of fun. So I'm gonna show you how to turn this into this in a few easy steps. So I've got a couple pieces of my Thibra Fine and a handy dandy chopstick. And what I'm going to do is heat the Thibra with a heat gun, or I could use hot water. And it needs to get to about 120 degrees. So you can see it's already getting really soft. I don't want to burn my fingers, so I'm going to move my fingers. There we go. All right. So you can see it basically turns into a lump of plastic clay. So to make a heart shape, I'm going to separate that lump into two balls. I'm going to roll at a slight angle so they look teardrop shaped. So we've got our two teardrop shaped pieces. I'm going to squish them kind of flat, stick them together, and now on my backgrounder stamp I'm going to press them in. This works with any real rubber stamp or with a silicone mold. Looks really nice with real rubber. So I'm going to smooth that out, and I want to make another one because I want two little hearts. So I'm going to scoot that out of the way, and this one I'm going to make a little bigger. So I'm going to heat this up. Super easy. And I need a little bit more material, but I don't need this whole piece. So what I can do is with regular scissors, I can cut a little extra. And I'm going to heat that up. And just add that to my lump. And if this cools down and I'm not done or I've made a big mistake, I can just melt it down and do it again. So I'm going to roll that into a ball. Roll that into a ball, squish it into a little teardrop shape like I showed you before. There's another teardrop shape. Squish that together. Squish that together. We've got our cute little heart shape. Let's get our backgrounder stamp. And
with this? Marianne, hot glue?
I'm a sure bonder, so that's why I was asking.
all right, so I'm going to get that nice and smooth in there. Then to attach it to this chopstick, I'm going to heat another little piece. I just need a little piece here. Stick that there on the end. And so now if I want to join two pieces, I just have to warm up the spots that I want them to join. So this is still a little flexible. It's picked up that really cool texture.
Yeah.
To keep it, this one's already cooled, but to cool it down faster once I've got the shape that I like, I just drop it in cold water.
I'm doing more of wax.
And you can hear
Yeah,
it's
hardened.
hardened. And so I can decide how I want those to look on this decorative stick. But I also want to throw some gemstones on there. So I've got a couple of nice little rhinestones. So we're done with our backgrounder stamp. So to make a setting for a rhinestone, I'm just going to heat a little piece. And a little hotter. Actually going to put 2 rhinestones on there, so get a little more material.
And now, how hot is that? It doesn't get super hot. You
No.
don't need it to be super hot to make it.
120 degrees.
Oh, okay.
So you can see I'm using my bare hands. I'm just going to squish that in there and then curl the edges around my rhinestone.
Oh, so it stays put, right?
So it stays put. I could glue it if I needed to, but
Sure.
this way I don't even need glue.
Right.
All right, so there I've got my second little rhinestone. Squish that around to give it a setting. That's already cooled a little bit. So now I can decide, how am I going to want this little decorative piece to look? Do I want kind of like that? That's going to be fun. So anytime I want 2 pieces to join, I heat the back side. So if I want that heart to overlap that heart, I'm going to heat that spot. Not too much. And just the back side of this other heart, if I heat it too much, then I'll squish the detail out of the front. So the front is still very firm, but the two,
The back is what's melding it together then.
they've stuck together nicely.
Huh.
Okay, now for these stones, this one's still a little warm, so I'm going to heat the back of this, and just that spot there, and that there, and the back of this one.
So yeah, you're really just like heating up fairly quickly as well too.
Oh, this stuff is so fast to work with. And then it's if I was worried about losing detail, then I would dunk it in water.
Right.
I'm not as worried because I need to stick it on the back of my stick. So I'm going to heat it right there, not burn my fingers. And I don't want to heat it so much that this starts deforming. But I could, if I wanted this to wrap around the stick,
Right.
I could. And in fact, I'm going to just a little bit, just so it has a little bit more shape to it. Okay. And now that it looks the way I want, it looks like it's well joined on the back. Now I can dip it in cold water.
Wow. So how long does that actually take to like cure then?
It's ready right now.
It's ready, huh?
So that is,
Wow. Yeah, impressive.
that's cold and hard and ready to, and this is just regular water. It's been
Yep.
sitting at room temperature for hours.
So then you can paint on this, you could do different things like that, correct?
Yep, so right now that I've got it dry, I'm just patting it dry. Now that I've got it dry, I'm actually going to paint it, and this is using Tommy DIY Italian paints. So you can get an idea.
Yeah.
These are really nice mineral-based paints,
Okay.
especially ground in Italy in the traditional manner.
Sure.
They dry super fast. I'm going to put an antique layer down So this is a very thin base coat of a dark brown that gets down into all the cracks. Tommy paint has a special binder in it that sticks to plastic.
Okay. So I was going to ask, what kind of paint would you want to use with
You want to use an acrylic, but
Okay.
I specifically like this one because I don't need a primer.
Right.
And it sticks to plastic. It also has a special binder in it for metal that doesn't rust.
Okay, great.
Perfect for altering IKEA furniture
Yes.
or glass, any non-porous surface, as well as, of course, wood
Yeah.
and paper.
So then, 'cause you said it doesn't rust or anything, you could put this outside as well too, making garden type of...
Well, if you were using the paint outside, then you'd want to seal it really well.
Right.
For a craft like this is a water-based acrylic, so as a little gift item, it just so quickly decorate up a little
Yeah.
plant that you're giving to a friend or a pot of flowers. So, no, I'm painting. So, we're just going to get our color on there. It dries fairly fast, but you can also heat this paint, and then it's even faster. So you can see it's already drying. I do not want to heat it to the point that I'm melting my plastic again. All right. It's mostly dry, or dry enough.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to just dry brush some metallics. Let's go for this copper color. So what I like about this copper is, you see that I'm
Yeah.
holding my jar upside down. Super thick. Little bit goes a long way with the Tommy paints. I don't want to get it down in those cracks where it's still wet. So I'm just going to dry brush. And then all those cool details jump out at you.
Yeah, that's really pretty.
And so as a quick gift item for a friend, oh my goodness, that just spruces up anything. They'll think that you spent a lot of money on it, when really you were just using craft tools that you already have kicking around your house. Don't forget the backside. All right. And there we go. I'll paint the chopstick so they can't tell that we just used a chopstick from from your last takeout meal.
Yeah, right.
And there we go. So you can see start to finish, it only takes a few minutes to make a really amazing gift item using Thibra and Tommy paints.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.